Okay, why don't we start off? Can you tell me your name and the company you work for?
Yeah, I'm Drew Medlock. I'm CEO at Allied Cycle Works.
Drew, tell me about that beautiful Allied Echo that I just saw.
Cool. Yeah, actually, it's my bike, believe it or not. It's my personal bike that has now turned into a show bike.
That's a good feeling.
It is a good feeling to get to show it off all the time, but I haven't got to ride it, so
It had to stay clean for this event, I imagine.
always clean. Yeah.
Will it get dirty tomorrow at Rodeo?
Maybe. I think rodeo tomorrow sounds more like an able ride, if I'm reading that one correctly. So I think it'll be bigger tires than the Echo.
Let's talk about the Echo. As you and I were talking about offline, it's a really unique beast in the gravel market because it bridges that fine line between super capable road bike and super capable off-road bike.
Yeah, absolutely. When we designed it, we were actually trying to start ground up with a amazing road bike that also could do gravel, and we really oriented the geometry and the performance really on Grand Tour level road bike. So we were thinking like this bike should compete, against a tarmac at a Grand Tour, but then also be able to run up to 40 millimeter tires, and that's from the aesthetics and also the performance. That's really what we were going for.
So let's talk about that unique chip technology that kind of enables this to happen.
Yeah, so the bike uses a flip chip, which, from mountain bikers out there know that's like nothing new, right? That's been done a lot. But what it allows us to do on this bike specifically is lengthen the chainstay by 1 centimeter. So you go from like a Grand Tour road geometry, super short chainstays, to a centimeter longer and run 10 millimeters more tire volume. And then on the front, raises the axle to crown by 1 centimeter as well, increases the tire volume.
And does that change the head tube angle?
It will. So it slackens out the geometry of the bike just a little bit. So you actually do get a true different geometry for road and gravel mode. I think for me personally, I've ridden a lot of bikes that are like a gravel bike that you can also put road wheels on. And for me, that somebody that's designed to work with bikes, I always feel like the road bike, if I'm riding a gravel bike with small tires on it, it really doesn't handle the way a true road, race bike does. And so we wanted something that really could do both.
So on that flip chip on the fork, it's a vertical movement, correct?
Yep.
And then on the stay, it's a horizontal
Correct.
movement.
Yeah, so just links into the chainstay or raises the axle to crown the fork.
And then tell me about the adjustment that you need to make on the brake caliper to achieve that movement and how you've executed that.
Yeah, so basically the brake caliper, the chip actually is it's mounted to the fork. So the caliper is actually mounted to the piece that moves. So the caliper on the front doesn't actually have to be readjusted at all, given that if you're using a wheel set with the same hub, right, when you're swapping wheels. Same for the rear. The rear, you do have to take one caliper bolt out to move it, but the caliper still stays in the same position. So if you're using the same set of hubs, same brand of rotors, you probably will not have to change or readjust your brakes after you're swapping wheels.
When you're in gravel mode, what type of tire clearance do you have?
So we have 40 millimeter axle, and tire clearance is a pet peeve of mine because everybody, like, what your tire says on a hot stamp on the side has nothing to do with actually what size it is. So for all riders out there, it's a good thing to know. I've seen 40 millimeter tires that measure 38, 40 millimeter tires that measure 44. So we are measuring actually 40 millimeters of tire, and that's including 4 millimeters of additional clearance at the rear of the bike as well. So,
right.
A Colin actually ran bigger than a 40 at Unbound Gravel that a lot of people notice. He's running a 42 Specialized Pathfinder. So it does fit because we actually do have clearance, but he was in our safety zone for clearance that we like to keep for everyday users. So with mud and, junk flowing through your frame just to make sure you protect the frame.
Yeah, that's what Colin mentioned to me. He said he's like, on a dry day, I stuck a 42 in there. I didn't have a concern, but I wouldn't be doing that on a muddy course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was super exciting to see him ride that bike on Unbound 200 one weekend and then Tulsa Tough Criterium on the road.
Yeah, that was nuts and completely unexpected. And, it was even going to Unbound, he was really like, we were testing, different bikes. He was going to ride the Able or the Echo, and in the end, he'd been putting most of the miles on the Echo, and he felt the most comfortable on it. And it's a lower front end, so he's got a lower profile on the bike, so he's probably a little faster on the bike as well. So that was the call to go with the Echo. And then, for Tulsa Tough, like we said, we designed that thing as a road racing machine, with the road setting for the geometry, no problem. He was in the breakaway on Crybaby Hill, so worked out pretty good.
I've come to expect interesting and new things from Allied at Unbound every year, so the pressure just keeps getting amped up.
Well, we did have a skip year, so that gave us a little bit of breathing room. So.
That's true. That's true. So we might be on an every 2-year cycle.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we've got some new stuff coming up our sleeve, so we'll see what the timing looks like.
Awesome. And it's worth noting you're manufacturing in America. It's all under one roof now, is that right?
Yeah, everything's under one roof. Our full manufacturing team is located in Northwest Arkansas, and we build everything from the ground up there. The Echo is a real special bike for us, not just because of the performance, but also that bike was developed all by the new team after we moved to our new factory in Rogers, Arkansas. And so it's a huge achievement for our team and just be able to put all our, not just performance and sports stuff out there, but also our, maturity and our manufacturing techniques together for this bike. And so we're really excited about it. And we're building, almost every single part of that bike in-house, including all the alloy flip chips and dropouts and the stem. So it's super exciting for us.
Nice. What does a customer journey look like to get their hands on one of these bikes?
Yeah, so if you'll visit us at Allied Cycle Works, you can actually jump on, and we have several different build options, and you can check it out and actually configure, what wheels you want, paint you want, all that stuff online. And then you can hit us up directly, or if you have a good local dealer, you can hit them up too.
And what does turnaround time look like these days?
Yeah, right now for Echoes, we're running between 8 to 10 weeks delivery. Of course, the major caveat there is on lead times for parts. Some things we are better on than others right now. So that's always, the tricky question because we're good at making Echoes within 8 to 10 weeks, but Shimano and SRAM are not very good at delivering within 8 to 10 weeks right now.
Yeah,
so.
You can throw extra labor at building something fast, stay up late, really hit that customer delivery date, but we can't control global supply chains.
Yeah, unfortunately we can't.
Yeah, well, congrats on the execution of the Echo. I think it's a great bike, and I'm
Thanks,
super excited to see where it goes.
I appreciate it.